Hello everyone, my name is Danny and welcome back to another Pixels AMA recap. Now today we're going to be talking about the AMA that happened on July 17th. I know yesterday we had an AMA, but I just could not upload a video last week, so apologies for that. So what's going to happen is this video is going to be uploaded around Thursday, Friday, depending on your time zone, and then I'll be making a different video for the AMA from yesterday, so July 24th. Around Sunday, Monday, and then the next week's AMA we'll have it uploaded consistently. We'll try to have every AMA to be around Thursday, Friday uploaded. I think this will be just better for consistency's sake, and this will also mean that, you know, the videos will be uploaded faster to the event of the AMA on Wednesday, right? And it'll just be like faster news and just faster uploads. I think it'll be better for everyone, so that's what we're gonna do moving forward. So yeah, apologies again for not being able to make this video last week, but it is still a pretty terrible AMA, so I wanted to talk about it. So we're gonna talk about the AMA on July 17th. Okay, so July 17th, the AMA, Luke talked a lot about certain things, and the first issue they identified here, they talked a little bit about issues and then about, you know, what they're kind of planning a little bit in the future as well, and just some of the things they're doing. And they talked about some of the issues they're trying to work on. And the first issue they identified is Taskboard difficulty. So they said the tasks seem unbalanced, and they want to start basically tweaking the Taskboard to, instead of being what it is currently it is only based on energy, how much a task costs in energy. That's how much you know, coins it's gonna give you, for example, or how much pixel it's gonna give you. And they want to change it to energy, time, and coin cost. Okay, and they also want to try and implement it so it includes the marketplace value that the players are giving some of these items, right? There's no point in, you know, us getting like 500 coins for turning in 25 Marblite Matrix when it's 1 coin in the marketplace. So they want to balance it around all, you know, energy, time, coin costs, and also marketplace value instead of just energy, where this is currently. And now let me explain to you why it's a bit baffling that they only realized that the Taskboard just doesn't work. It's been a while since Chapter 2 launched, right? And only now they're realizing, hey guys, the Taskboard doesn't really work when we're only balancing on energy. And it's a bit weird, okay? Because if they can't make the Taskboard work when it is only balanced on one thing, or we really expected them to make it work when there's more things into consideration? Because, you know, personally, I just don't have a lot of faith that they've been working and tweaking the Taskboard in Chapter 1, and it's still an absolute disaster in my opinion. So I don't know, but let me explain to you why the philosophy, okay, of having the Taskboard only work on energy just does not work with the skills of the game. Now, one thing you need to understand, right, is that there's two types of skills. There's the resource skills, that includes farming, it includes forestry, and it includes mining. And then you have the crafting skills. This is like woodworking, right, stone shaping, metalworking, you know, those types of skills. Now, this works fine, like in theory, with crafting skills, because, you know, once you do something that is like from a tier above, when you do like a tier 3 crafting of something, it's usually going to cost you more energy than a tier 2 or a tier 1. So in theory, it kind of works this way, but they still manage to make it fail. But we're not going to get too much into that. But yeah, they still manage to make it fail. But in theory, right, this works kind of okay if the philosophy of the Taskboard is only on energy with crafting skills. But if you actually take a look at the resource skills, this makes absolutely no sense. You want to know why? Because once you reach like tier 2, you're going to start to have access to things like, I'm just going to give you an example with farming right now. Once you reach tier 2, you're going to have access to things like clover, right? Then you're going to have access to like tato fruit, java bean, muk chuck. Then on tier 3, you have access to apricot, sloth mato, cucumber, and then on tier 4 you have access to, I guess, carrot and butterberry, but let's just focus on butterberry. Okay, all of these resources, all of these items, all of these seeds, they cost 2.5 energy to produce. So already this is a failure. You want to know why? Because if you actually see the tasks in the taskboard, they're actually requiring you to give out like more clover or more Java beans or more potato fruit, and then actually if you see the task with like butterberry, they're asking you maybe like 10 sometimes. I've never seen more than 10 being asked. So this already does not work. Because if it's on theory related to energy, but then you go to the resources skills and all of them cost the same amount of energy, the way that you're gonna have to make a certain task cost more than another is by increasing the quantity. And this is not in theory bad, because you can then make you can make it exist more demand on a certain item, but this should be focused on the tier 3 and tier 4 ones, and that's just not the case. The taskboard just doesn't work, but we already talked about that so many times. I don't really know if I want to repeat myself every time, but on that specific point. But yeah, the taskboard just doesn't work, and again, this is in theory doesn't work. Now, when you cut a tree, it's gonna, like every single time you swing your axe, it's gonna cost you 1.5 of energy. This is regardless, okay? If you are doing a tier 1 tree, a tier 2 tree, a tier 3, or a tier 4. So again, it all comes down to the amount of the resource you're asking for the task to be complete. But again, the supply has been wrong since the beginning of chapter 2. It's not actually been, the demand has not actually been on tier 3 and tier 4 resources. So if you actually go to the marketplace right now, the white wood log, which is the tier 1 log, costs 5 coins in the market, 6 coins. The craft bark, which is tier 2, costs 1 coin. The saw stump log, which is a tier 3, costs 3 coins. And the tier 4, the boar branch log, costs 2. This is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what else to say. Like, it took them over a month to realize, hey guys, maybe this isn't working. We might need to do something different. Like, isn't this absolutely baffling? And in mining, again, whatever mine you have, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, once you use your axe, your pickaxe on it, it's gonna cost you 4 energy. So then we're in the same issue that it all comes down to supply or demand, sorry, how much demand they're gonna give you, but it doesn't work, right? If you actually go ahead and see the resources in the marketplace, we have tier 1, which is gravel glass matrix, for example, at 34 coins each, the price, the value. The ochrux at 4, the clay matrix at 8, the copperite ore at 4. But once you look at tier 2, for example, the bronzite ore, marbleite matrix, and irontite ore is actually tier 3, sorry, all of them are at 1 coin. And then if you go to tier 4, there's also the adamantium ore, which is at 2 coins. This is ridiculous. The marketplace is so unbelievably broken because the supply and demand just sucks. And there's more to this issue, right? It's not only the taskboard. I actually haven't mined that much specifically because I just don't like mining. It's been one of the skills I actually have the lowest. But I was actually doing some mine grinding, and I leveled up 2 levels. 2 levels, okay? From 28 to level 30. This is one of my lowest level skills. It's fine, okay? But I leveled 2 levels of mining. And with the resources I gained, right, this means like all these tier 1 and tier 2 resource items, right, the matrix and the ores, I was able to level up 5 levels in stone shaping. And I was also able, with the same amount of resources, to level up 2 levels in metalworking. Can you please explain me, how is it possible that by mining 2 levels from 28 to 30, which is actually my lowest level skill, I'm able to level up 5 levels in stone shaping and 2 levels in metalworking when these skills are actually a higher level as well? The amount of supply, it is so unbelievably broken. It is baffling. They just haven't realized how unbelievably broken it is. Like, I don't know what else to say. This is genuinely horrible. They keep saying they're tweaking the taskboard, they keep saying this and that, but they're not actually fixing anything in the game. Like, is this just me? I cannot see them actually do something that is good for the game. I have not seen anything. But okay, that's the issue 1, they said. That they're trying to fix taskboard difficulty and balance the tasks around energy, time, and costs of the coins, also marketplace value. If they can't make it work with only energy, how do we expect them to make it work with 4 things? They have been working on the taskboard since chapter 1. It is still an absolute embarrassing mechanic. I genuinely don't know what else to say about this. But alright, let's move on to issue 2. They said, this is also baffling to me, like, this anime is just horrible. You know, I am basically here every week, and I'm just generally just becoming the pixel hater, right? You know, I'm not going out of my way to make AMA videos every single week to just be criticizing pixels, but they make it so difficult to praise and so easy to criticize with every single decision that, you know, what else can I do? If everything they're gonna do is gonna be a wrong decision, I'm just gonna criticize them every single time, you know? I make these videos because I like pixels, you know? At least I liked what pixels was, you know? In chapter 1, right, if we were in chapter 1, and someone came to the Ronin blockchain and asked me specifically, you know, what game should I play? Without a heartbeat, I would say, you have to play Pixels. It is too good. You know, Pixels has something special, like this little spark. But if someone today, you know, told me, hey, right, if someone came to the blockchain and asked me, what game should I play? I would not recommend Pixels to my worst enemy. Like, this game is in such a bad state, and they can't see anything wrong with the game. I genuinely think that, because they are not actually fixing any of the problems. You know, the only thing they are able to, like, identify is, like, Taskboard, and it's still horrible, and they're gonna make it more complex when they can't even make it work with simple stuff. Like, I don't know what else to say. But, alright, let's just get into issue 2 here. Luke said that the early game players are struggling to get coins. Like, why are you lying? Why are you lying? Like, please explain to me how it's only the early game players that are struggling to get coins. I literally just went through some of the resource items, and all of the tier 1s actually give more coins than tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4 sometimes. This is like a consistent thing. So can you please explain to me how the people who are struggling to get coins are only early game players? Like, why are you lying to me? Why are you lying to us? Like, you have no idea what's going on in your marketplace or what? If I go to crafting, right, and I'm just looking at the marketplace value right now. You don't know what's the most profitable thing in woodworking? Sawdust, tier 1. Let's go to metalworking. Oh, the most profitable thing is copperite nails, a tier 1 item. Let's go to stone shaping. Stone shaping is a bit better. Claricite powder has been profitable for a little bit compared to like other skill, but this is like one of the exclusive things, right? If you scroll down, again, it's just going to be like tier 2 and tier 1 things. And cooking, blue grumpkin loaf has been one of the most profitable cooking items for a very long time now. And again, this is a tier 1 item. So can you actually please explain to me how it's the early game players who are struggling to make coins? No, you're lying to my face. I'm seeing the marketplace right now, and it's the exact opposite. The tier 1 items are the ones that actually give value to the game, and this has been so for a very long time. Right? The reason why late game players are technically getting more coins is because the really late game players, I'm gonna talk about this a bit later, but they're using Pixel to earn coins, and I'm gonna explain this a bit later because it's gonna be another point. But this is baffling. Like, why are you lying? This is the second AMA, okay? The AMA previous to the one on July 17th, the week prior, he also mentioned that the early game players are struggling to get coins. Why are you lying? Like, this genuinely pisses me off when they're just lying to your face. But yeah, you want to know the solutions they came up with? Let's go over the solutions. So, if you didn't know, there's this daily coin reward you get, and they gave you 100 coins. So now, to help you earn more coins, they changed it to 300, guys. Holy moly. Like, be careful. They just fixed all of our issues. They're giving us an extra 200 coins daily to play the game. The game is absolutely broken. You can't make money doing anything, but it's okay, guys. We're getting 200 extra coins. They just fix all of our problems. Like, this is insanity. How is this a solution? Like, I am genuinely so baffled with like 90% of this AMA because everything is just so weird. This is not even close to a solution. What is this? They also said they're gonna start implementing like new ways of, for us to like get coins, like login streaks. Like if you log in more days, you're gonna get more coins. And okay, I guess that's fine. And they're also like want to increase how many soils you start with on your spec, and how many coins new players start with. So I'm guessing like if you create a new account, you'll get a bit more coins. But again, like they are so off. They just don't understand what's wrong with the game. Like their solution to everything is 200 extra coins. It's baffling. And again, they're only saying that early game players are struggling to get coins when this is not the case. Everyone is struggling to get coins except some big whales and late game players. So I really don't understand why they're lying. So next they talked about coin OTC, and they said they're going to be introducing like an official way for you to trade pixels for coins. It's obviously going to be a bit safer. Now, one thing I'm going to say, right, is the reason why coin OTC became so popular in the first place is because, again, nothing is profitable in the game. So what's happening is people are so desperate to get to the late game levels to try to earn, because they go to like places like Twitter, and they see like these big whale content creators making like 1,000 pixel a day, and they're getting so desperate to reach these levels to try and win some of those pixels as well, that they are buying coin OTC to reach there. Because again, nothing is profitable in the game, so the only way to get coins, right, is to buy them. So they're buying coins OTC. They are so desperate because they think, these players, right, that are so desperate and they're buying coins OTC to try to level up, try to reach these late game levels for pixel, they are basically having faith that you will make a better game, and that, they'll this type of like spending money, real money for coins will be worth it in the long run. So this is this is already pretty, like, I don't want to say an extremely bad word, but this is pretty bad. I'm just going to say bad, okay? Because you are basically taking advantage of your players, hoping you'll make a better game eventually, and they are going out of their way, buying coins OTC. They are so desperate to progress through the game, to make out some pixel in this game, because again, if you're not level 60 plus on everything, you're not making any pixel. Like, you're genuinely making like 10, maybe 5, 10, 20 pixel max a day, which is ridiculous compared to these late game players who are making 1,000. This, one of the main topics, one of the main things they wanted to touch on chapter 2 was to make bots not profit in the game. And you know what happened? The complete opposite happened. Bots are actually the ones that are making the most profit in the game. And one of the ways, right, is by farming coins. Bots just farm coins. And I'm just gonna say this as well. In chapter 1, bots were farming coins and pixel, and now they're only farming coins. This is a step in the right direction. I'm not gonna say it's not, right? Bots being unable to earn pixel anymore is a good step, I would say. But this doesn't matter if they are actually able to gain a lot more profit now just by selling coins. And yeah, one of the ways they're doing it is by selling coins OTC to, again, these desperate players that just need to progress. And again, coin OTC is illegal. They have said this is illegal. And the people who are buying, right, they're these desperate players that are faithful. They're trying. You're generally just taking advantage of players who are very passionate and want to actually progress and make some money with this game. And the people who are selling the coins OTC are just straight up bots. So the people who are profiting from the coin OTC market are bots. And again, this became way more popular. So bots are making way more profit because you, again, broke the market with your completely unbalanced and broken Chapter 2 game, where the supply is completely broken. There's no difference between Tier 1 to Tier 4 resources, and it's just, it's just pathetic. I'm just gonna say it, it's pathetic. Another way bots are profiting? Let me explain to you the next thing. Like, I'm just gonna show this to you because I think this is also just, I'm just shocked in this AMA. I can't believe this AMA is real. So there's this, Luke is flexing, holy moly. He is flexing that there is more pixel being spent in the game for VIP specifically. Now, again, I'm going to explain to you how bots are profiting from this, but Luke, my guy, you cannot just see, oh, number is higher, good. That's not how you read data. For data, you must understand the context with that data, because data can be very misleading. And I'm going to give you an example to show you how misleading data can be very easily, and it's very important to understand context. And the easiest way I can think of doing this is with win rate. So let me give you an example, right? Let's say, I'm just going to use let's say there's a 1v1 football tournament, okay? Very simple, I think. Most people will be able to catch up, keep up with the example. And let's say there's 4 participants. There's Ronaldo, there's Dany, there's a dog, and a chair. These are the 4 participants. How the hell do I come up with these examples? Okay, so it's a football 1v1 tournament, and let's say that in the first game, I play against Ronaldo, and the dog plays against the chair. And, you know, Ronaldo's just a better football player than me, okay? And he beats me. And then on the dog and chair match, the dog is just, you know, the dog's just playing around, man. He doesn't know what he's doing. And oh no! He just put the ball into his own goal, and he lost the game. The chair didn't even need to move to win a game. So now we have the Ronaldo with 100% win rate, we have the chair with 100% win rate, and me and the dog have 0% win rate. And let's say that game 2, Ronaldo plays against the chair, and I play against the dog. And let's say, you know, I beat the dog, okay? I beat the dog and also get a win, but then the chair beats Ronaldo. And you're like, how did this happen, right? And, oh, Ronaldo couldn't show up to the game. He had to play for, like, Portugal or something. So he was a no-show. Someone put the chair in the play field, so the chair automatically won just from showing up. And we reached this kind of insane scenario where we have a chair with 100% win rate, we have me and Ronaldo with 50% win rate, and we have the dog with 0% win rate. And if you only looked at the data, or the data, right? Data, whatever, you would see that the chair, who didn't even move, it's an immobile object. You would say that the chair is the best player of the tournament. And then you would say that me and Ronaldo have a similar skill level in football, which is, again, not true. And the dog, you know, what is the dog even doing here? He's just losing every game, right? And you can understand how you need context to understand. You know, a person that has some context would tell you, no, the chair isn't actually the best player in the game. You know, the dog just kind of rigged the match, and Ronaldo was a no-show. That's the only reason why the chair is in first place. This is how easily, right? I just gave you like a kind of an insane scenario example, whatever, but you can see how easily you're able to be misled just by data alone. Context is very important, right? So let's go back to Luke flexing about there's being more pixel being spent on VIP. You cannot just say, right, oh, number is higher, our players are loving this horrible game. That's not how it works, Luke. You need to understand context. So let me explain to you why people are buying more VIP. It's like, if you actually, I bet, okay, if you actually took the time to actually look into the data more, you would probably see that the VIPs are specifically being bought, or 3 month VIPs tickets are the ones being bought the most. We already talked a lot in like previous AMAs and also in this AMA, how the marketplace is completely broken. There's, you know, like tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4 resources are completely useless. It's mostly tier 1 being, you know, actually gaining any sort of value. We're reaching this point where no one can actually profit, right? The way people are making profit are by buying coin OTC, but, you know, some people are afraid of buying coin OTC. Buying coin OTC is risky, right? You can get scammed. There are people getting scammed. And again, this is because they broke the game. The pixels broke the game, and people are so desperate to progress that they are buying coin OTC, which is an illegal thing. And they're either getting their coins right, and they're having an unfair advantage to the average player, or they are straight up just losing their money and getting scammed. And you know who's profiting all from this? Bots. Again, bots are the one doing these types of shenanigans, right? But okay, let me explain to you why this is happening. Why are people getting more VIP tickets, right? This is actually something that one of you guys on the comment section brought to my attention. So thank you a lot. I really appreciate like all your comments. Because you guys give me like different points of view on these videos sometimes, and you also teach me some things that are happening in the game that I had no idea. And this was actually first brought to my attention from one of you viewers. So, you know, shout out to you guys as well. So what's happening, right, is that late game players, right, let's say I'm the #1 players in pixels right now, okay, and I make 1,000 pixel, and, you know, maybe I spent like around 2-3 million coins. So what the people are doing with these, you know, 1,000 pixel is they're buying 3 months VIP. It's you know, the value is going to depend, but let's give a value of like 160 pixel right now for a 3-month VIP ticket, and they're selling it in the market for 1 million and something coins. So if I spent 3 million coins to make 1,000 pixel, and then I spend around 450 pixel earning that 3 million back, I'm going to be even, and I'm still going to have pixel profit for that day, and I can do the exact same thing tomorrow. This is literally the matter right now. So what's happening is these late game players, or even just normal players, are just buying pixel and then trading it for 3 months VIP, and then putting it on the market for over 1 million coins. And obviously this is profitable, because this is good, because, you know, to make 1,000 pixel, you're getting 3 million coins, but then to get the 3 million back, you're only paying 450. So this brings another question, right? Who's buying these VIPs that people are putting in the marketplace? Very simple. Bots, again. So I actually did this experiment. I had some pixel from chapter 1 that I deposited back into the game, and I bought 5 VIP, 5 3 months VIP, and I put it in the marketplace, and I sold it for over 5 million coins. I did the example myself, just to, you know, just to be completely sure this works. On every single one that was bought, it was a bot. So what's happening, right, what's happening, right, bots or farming coins, right, like I can create 1,000 accounts that are bots and make tons of coins. They are reaching the 1 million coin mark, and they are buying the VIPs, so they can actually have access to like sauna and things like that, and then they're translating this into more coins, which they can sell then OTC and make tons of profit. So again, the main benefactors from this are gonna be late game players and bots. And don't forget, one of the main objectives of chapter 2 was to stop bots from profiting. Good thing that the main profiters of the game for a very long time now has been bots. Good job, Pixels, you're doing a great job. So yeah, I don't know, this whole situation is just shocking to me. Like, how can you be flexing? This generally pisses me off when they are flexing without merit. You cannot flex without any merit. Everything I've done since chapter 2 launch has been horrendous. And again, I'm generally not trying to hate on Pixels every week. I genuinely try not to like sound as a hater, but what are they doing? Like, I can't be more nice when talking about these things, because these are very serious like problems, right? We can't just have bots making tons of profit while Pixel is just kind of screwing 99% of their community because they're not level 70 on everything, and they're making nothing, and they're miserable. Like, and then they're kind of taking advantage of these desperate players that are buying coins OTC to try and progress. You know, it's just such a ridiculous situation. So after that, Luke does a little bit more flexing, so let's go over it. So Luke said that what they have over other like Web3 projects is that they have a lot of data. And, you know, I'm not going to say this is wrong. I'm sure you have a lot of data, but can we please not have Luke specifically, like, actually look at the data? Can we have someone that can actually determine what the data is saying? You know, because if it's Luke, I genuinely think that we're a bit screwed here, because if he can't understand something so basic as why VIPs are getting higher, this is crazy. I just told you, I specifically bought 5 3 months VIP tickets, so I increased that value, right? I am part of that data, and again, I specifically bought that so I can make a lot of coins to progress through the game to try and reach these late levels, right? So again, like, I don't know what you're saying, Luke. Why are you flexing this? They also flex they have a lot of users, you know, this is fine. It is true. There's a lot of people playing Pixels specifically. And they said they have a fast team. Oh, Lord. So, Luke, can you please enlighten me? Where is your fast team? Is it on taskboard balancing? We've been tweaking taskboard since chapter 1 and it's still terrible. Is it the carnival event you have promised in chapter 2 launch? That still hasn't happened. Is it the pet mint that was also promised in chapter 2 launch? That still hasn't happened. Can you please explain to me where the fast team is, being fast? You've been slow and nothing in the game works. So you've neither been fast or done good decisions. So what are you exactly flexing here by telling us you have a fast team? You want to know where their fast team is? Heidi keeps flexing, this was like a couple of AMAs ago, kept flexing that they made a car bed skin in 2 days after someone suggested it.
Okay, so we get your feedback, we hear, we listen, and we implement as much as we can or what makes sense, right? So this is a perfect example of that. So the idea for this race car bed actually came from a tweet, and I forgot who the tweet was last week, but I tracked it down. Literally, this tweet. Can we get a race car bed in our Pixels house? This is it. And then I think I tagged Tyler, and I think Luke, you also put this tweet in Slack. And then like 2 days later, Tyler's like, bet. Here you go.
Oh my god, that's great. I'm so good our priorities are on car bed skins that cost 100 pixel instead of actually doing anything that is good for the game. Wow, thank you so much for flexing that, Heidi. It's just like, I don't know what to say. But okay, let's get away from like all these like flexing shenanigans. I'm just so outraged at the fact they are flexing without merit when every single decision just makes the game worse. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. But okay, let's go back to more things he said. So about the data, he mentioned a little bit that they want to start giving pixel to more types of player. Wow. This is shocking, guys. It took us, again, over a month to realize, 99% of the community isn't earning any pixel. Maybe we should work on that. And, let me explain to you how this is incredibly bad game design, okay? Basically, when Chapter 2 launched, right, their objective, this is something they wanted, was for late game players to be earning a ton of pixel. And they succeeded on that, right? We have late game players earning 1,000 pixel. This is fine. There's no problem with that. If you want to give the late game players 1,000 pixel a day, that's fine. But the moment you neglect the rest of your community, the moment you neglect the rest 99% of your community and give them nothing, you are just being a complete asshole. Especially because one of the main objectives of Chapter 2, another main objective of Chapter 2, was for players to start seeing more pixel in their taskboard, which has been a complete lie unless you're a late game player. This is just straight up lying and misleading your community. That is crazy. And this is incredibly game design. Why? Because they are basically forcing a playstyle onto a player. Now, this might be shocking to some of you, but in Pixels, there's not only the grinder player, right? You're going to be having like a lot of casual players. You're going to be having some average players. I know some people who are just marketplace addicts, right? They're just in the marketplace all day, and they're trying to do some shenanigans to try to earn some coins. These players also exist. They don't have the grinder playstyle. And what you said on Chapter 2 launch was basically, you are going to be leveling up to level 70 on every single skill, or you will earn nothing. Screw you, man. I don't care. So you basically gave people an ultimatum. You either become a grinder and you spend the next 3 weeks or something being an absolute degen, farming 16 hours a day, just grinding, making sure you get level 70 on everything, to maybe have the possibility to earn a lot of pixel, or you're just not going to earn anything. And you want to know why this is bad? Because in a video game, you cannot force playstyles onto your players. This is super incorrect. I'm going to give you an example on like Axie Infinity, because it's a pretty popular IP in, Web3 and in Rodin. We are in the Rodin blockchain playing Pixels. This would be like if Sky Mavis, who are like the developers of Axie Origins, were like, you know what, guys? We just want Anemone to be played. The rest of you, screw you. If you do not play Anemone, we will not give you a single SLP or AXS, which are like the tokens of their game. So you understand how unbelievably boring this will make the game? Every single game, it would just be Anemone versus Anemone. Oh, you're playing something different? No. You're not gonna win. Anemone is king. You play Anemone or you get nothing, bro. And that's just not how it works. That's so unbelievably boring, right? You can't force a playstyle. You can't just force one singular meta and playstyle onto a video game. That's just not how it works, right? In Axie Origins, you have many ways to win. You can do damage to your opponent, right? Let's say like Anemone or Feathers or Rage decks. Then you have the Cursed Cards type of decks with like Jinx, or there's like the Confused decks or the Hotbutt decks. And then you also have like the Stallers that are building like shield decks or healing stuff. This creates a lot of different, opportunities for players to try and find something that matches their playstyle, and also means the meta is more diverse, which makes the game more interesting, because this means when you queue up for a game, you're not just going to be playing Anemone every single time. That's so boring, right? So that was kind of an example. It's not the same as Pixels, obviously, because it's actually a PvP game. There's more interactions, but you understand what I'm saying. If you force a playstyle onto a player, especially like a hard one, like being a grinder, the average player was like maybe max level 40 on something in Chapter 1. And then you're saying like you have to be absolute degens, farm 30 levels on each skill to earn a little bit of pixel. Like, that's insane. That's just not how it works. And, sometimes I also go to the Pixels Discord because I like seeing what people are saying and, what are they complaining about? What do they like? Things like that. I think it also, like, helps me with some of these AMA videos, like, giving me different points of views. Sometimes I see this from the comments and I'm starting to, like, try to go and just read some comments in the Pixels Discord to try and see more different points of view. And, every time I see someone complain in the Pixels Discord about it, like, man, I just didn't earn any pixel today. There's always going to be this type of guy, and I'm sure, like, some of these excuses have popped into your mind. You're like, you just need to grind. You just need to get to level 70 on everything. And let me explain to you why this is such a wrong mentality. I'm sorry about my language. There's no other way to describe this. You are Pixels bitch. You are just Pixels bitch, okay? Because like I just explained to you how this is incredibly bad game design, and no matter what they say or do, no matter how incorrect it is, you're just gonna be like, Pixels is like, you have to grind 30 levels plus on everything to maybe earn some pixel. And your response is, yes, Master Pixels, I will do that. This is so, you're such a little bitch. Like, can you be a human being? Can you actually form some of your opinions and thoughts of your own and actually say something that you might not like about this type of decision? You could have been someone that's like, man, I don't think this is correct, right? Because again, there's a couple of reasons for it. One of them is you can't just force a playstyle onto a player. That's not how good game design works. This is just straight up bad game design, You can't just force a playstyle onto your player. But you could have been one person that's like, man, I don't think this is like the correct approach. I'm still going to be grinding. I'm still going to be doing it because I want to earn some pixel, but this is not the correct approach. But you're doing the extreme thing. You're saying something like, just get good, bro. Just grind. We all must just grind, get to level 17, and earn that pixel. You are such a little bitch, because no matter what Pixels tells you to do, you're just going to blindly follow it. That's not how it works. You need to be a human being and, actually have some individual thoughts and form your own opinions on things. You can't just be a positive Andy walking around and following everything that Pixels does. So, if your excuse for it was, just get good, bro, that's not how it works. Again, there's different types of players that you need to also accommodate. It can't just be the late game players. So again, let's go back to the main topic here. Luke said they're going to start to give Pixel out to players who are not only late game players. Because again, wow, it took you over a month to realize, but not everyone is a grinder. And he said this, right? If we only give out Pixel to top players, we miss a lot of people. Wow! Yeah, thank you for realizing it. What we don't want to do is give no pixel to real players. So what exactly what's going on? Wow, thank you for realizing this. Like, I've been saying this for weeks. Man, Luke is on fire. You cannot be a grinder and still be valuable to the ecosystem. Wow, this is the first good thing he said in the whole AMA. I'm just honestly surprised in a good way. So what's gonna happen, right, is that they're gonna start to basically do certain invisible roles or labels. And I think the easiest way to like understand this, if you're like a person who uses Discord often, It's like if you went to Discord and when you click on someone's profile, you see like their roles. You know, if they're like a very active player, they're gonna get a certain role. You know, if they were part like of a certain event, they're gonna get a certain role. So this is what it's gonna start to happen. I think invisible, like you're not gonna be able to see it. But right, if you're gonna be a really high level player, you're gonna be considered a grinder, and they're gonna try to give you more pixel. If you are a player who shows up to like every event, you're probably gonna have a label, you know, that this is someone that shows up to our events. We're gonna try to give you some more pixel. So they're starting to expand, you know, which players are going to be getting more pixel. This is unbelievable. I can't believe it took over 1 month for them to realize that there's more to the ecosystem than the maybe 1% or less of players that are making a ton of money right now. Okay, so finally, they talked a little bit about creating more events. So they're finally also, they're going to expand how many pixel a person earns, but they're finally going to give more opportunities to earn a pixel. I've been saying this for weeks. The Taskboard is a completely boring and uninteractive system, right? You just go to the Taskboard and you're like, oh, I need to buy this, this, and this. Cool, let's go. Oh, I didn't get a pixel task. Damn it. That is such boring gameplay. We need new ways of earning pixel. I've been saying this for weeks, and they finally realized that. Now, the new methods they're introducing for you to earn pixel is going to be through things like guild competitions, guild leaderboards, you know, contestable lands, that type of stuff. Now, there's also a problem with this. Because again, you're not reaching everyone here. To have a very balanced ecosystem, you can't just reward the top players, and you can't only reward players from guilds. There are people who just want to be chill and, you know, just play on their own or something. And sure, I'm not going to say that they shouldn't earn less pixel, but they still need to be part of the conversation, right? You can't, like, you know, it's kind of like what happened so far, where only the top players were like unbelievable whales or just degen grinders or level 70 on everything, or making 1,000 pixel a day, and then the rest of the community can get screwed. You know, they can't be the case. And, you know, introduce this, they're starting to expand. That's good. They're starting to realize, finally, holy moly, that, you know, we need more players in the ecosystem earning pixel, because there's more valuable people in the ecosystem than just grinders. And they're starting to create these events. So guild competitions and contestable lands are going to be guild events, right? This is awesome. This is very cool. Yes, we should be doing this. But, again, this cannot be the only thing. We need to add more interesting ways. You know, I don't think only like guild competitions and contestable lands should be earning pixel, right? On these sort of events. I think the carnival is a very good opportunity for them to give pixel out to the average player, right? To majority of the community in a very healthy way. It needs to be done correctly. They promised us a carnival on the first week of Chapter 2 launch. This has not been the case. They delayed it a bunch, right? So at least, please, I am begging you, make it a healthy way, make it a very cool event, and make it healthy for everyone to be able to have an opportunity to earn some pixel in that event. The carnival is such a great way, right? It's generally going to be such a good opportunity for them to give pixel out to the casual and average audience. It doesn't have to be a lot. It generally doesn't. But again, the entire pool cannot be on the game players. It cannot be only on guild players. And again, I'm both of these things. I'm very close to becoming a very late game player. I'm part of a guild, right? But, you know, it's not all about what I want. I want what's good for the game, right? I want what's good for the ecosystem and just the game in the long run. And we need to be, you know, you can't be selfish. We need to understand that Pixels is kind of a big game, right? It has a lot of players. And we need everyone to be able to have a good experience. And that's just not the case currently. And so we really need, right? I could just be here and not make a single video and just be like, okay, I'm about to become a late game player, and I'm only missing like mining and a couple other skills to like reach level 17. I'm good. You know, I could just be a type of player where I'm like, you know, I'm becoming a late game player, and you know, I'm part of a guild. I could just be selfish and not care about anything, but instead I'm here and I'm trying to give constructive criticism, and also maybe going a bit off the rails in this AMA because everything just pissed me off a little bit. Because I want the game to be able to grow in a healthy way where everyone is able to earn. This is what we all want. We want a healthy ecosystem. We want a game that everyone can play, have fun, and this is Web3. We also want to have some financial incentive, so earn a little bit of pixel as well. But yeah, this has been an extremely long AMA recap. this isn't really a recap at this point, but we touched upon a lot, okay? That's pretty much where the AMA ended. So, you know, we're starting to identify some issues. We're starting to expand the Pixels pool to more players. This is good, but we need this done in a good way, and we need to stop with this like delusion that the game is doing really well. We need to actually understand data, and we really need to understand that Taskboard is just horrible. And you know, they're introducing more ways of trying to make things work. We'll see how that goes, right? But yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for this AMA. I'll try to upload the AMA that happened yesterday on Sunday, Monday, depending on your time zone. And again, we'll just have a pretty consistent upload schedule, hopefully from then forward. But yeah, I've made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.